Today, I'm going to show you how I booked a $2,800 resort stay at an all-inclusive Marriott property using just 5 free night certificates, a handful of Marriott points, and $25. We'll start off with just how I amassed these free night certificates, or FNCs. Then we'll move into trip planning, and then finally we'll talk about the redemption itself, and I'll walk you through just how I was doing it a couple days ago. So I earned these FNCs from the $125 annual fee Marriott Bonvoy Business credit card. Earlier this year, there was a 5 free nights offer after you spend $8,000 in 6 months. It was the best ever offer at the time. I mean, it still is technically, but it is now gone. I believe it expired on March 20th at time of recording, and I snagged that a couple weeks before. You know, because we had to spend $8,000 in 6 months to get these free nights on the card, it was a little out of my comfort zone, for sure. I would be the first to admit that. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to do it. You know, I was like, this is such a great offer, but I don't know if I can reach that spend right now with the US Bank Altitude Reserve. But thankfully, we had a lot of pre-planned travel expenses, and we were able to put those on the Altitude Reserve. And then we had another big purchase that we had to make that took out a good amount of the minimum spend for the Marriott Bonvoy Business cards. In the end, it all worked out. We earned the sign-up bonus in like maybe a month and a half, I would say. So that was unexpected for sure. When it's all said and done, we have 5 free nights that we have redeemed for an all-inclusive property. So I will take that as a win. So now that you know how I got the FNCs, let's talk about when and where I've been planning to use them. We will be going to Cancun, and it became a logical choice for a couple of reasons. Originally, we were thinking about one of the all-inclusive resorts in the Caribbean from Marriott, like the ones in Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, or Barbados, as well as a few others, but we ran into a problem. We realized that our stay there would fall smack in the middle of hurricane season, so that wasn't going to work. All is not lost. The resorts there were well out of our price range in terms of points and FNCs anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. And our budget, of course, we had the 5 FNCs, so effectively 250,000 points if we played our cards right, as well as my 17,000 points, and my fiance had about 20,000-ish Marriott points in her account that she was willing to move to mine so we could book a redemption with my FNCs. If we put all these together, it was, we were looking at about 287,000 points at a maximum. Unfortunately, all of the all-inclusive properties that we saw outside of Mexico were quite a bit above that. So, enter Mexico. It made sense to go there with these points because we did want to use them at an all-inclusive property. Neither of us have been to one before, so it was kind of just like a want that we weren't willing to compromise on too much, I think. Cancun was a different story. After doing a bit of research, we were going back and forth between the Royalton Chic Resort, all-inclusive, and then the aptly named Marriott Cancun all-inclusive resort. And we ended up picking there. They had really great reviews, like 4.5 stars, and it was a little more like a actual like resort. The Royalton Chic looks very nice, of course, but it's definitely more like a party vibe, and we were just looking for something to like relax at. All right, so now that you know where we're staying, here is where we're going to talk about the redemption. This is a award calendar that shows the exact points that you will need for a 5-night stay at the Marriott Cancun all-inclusive resort. As you can see here, the last week was considerably less expensive than the other weeks. It'll show as 227,000 points, but that does factor in if you're paying with just points, not certificates. You do get that 5th night free, so it doesn't show that 5th night, and it makes it look a lot cheaper than it is. But for us, in reality, the total came out to be a little bit higher. If you look on the screen, you'll see that the total came out to 27,000 points, as I mentioned earlier. And my fiance transferred points from her account to mine. They arrived very quickly. I had read that it takes up to 24 hours sometimes, but ours came within like 5 minutes. And we were able to book. 5 FNCs, 27,000 points, and $25 in taxes later, we were able to land a ocean view king room. And if you're curious, it also had a sofa bed and a balcony. The pictures look very nice. Of course, we'll have to actually see when we get there for ourselves, but I have high hopes. Alright guys, this is the homepage for the Marriott Cancun All-Inclusive. As you can see, it does look a little bit dated from these exterior photos. I believe this is like if you're on the beach and you were like flying a drone facing inland, this is what the view would look like. But like I mentioned earlier, looking at TripAdvisor and other reviews, appears to be under construction for some renovations, but the hotel itself is still open, and by the time we stay there in August, it will be hopefully fully renovated. So maybe these pictures won't do it justice, but we'll just have to wait and see. But the nighttime photo looks nice, of course. Very attractive. I do think that it will be a fun experience. And in this corner over here, I guess I didn't see it in the first photo, but now that it's like at night, you can see all the lights and stuff. I think that's the JW Marriott that's right next door. That one was a bit pricey and not all-inclusive. But yeah, that looks nice. I like the outdoor hallways around here as well. The guest rooms seem, this looks really nice. I'm not quite sure if it's gonna look exactly like that in the picture, but we did get an ocean view room, so we should, in theory, if the weather's good, get some nice sunset views from that balcony. I'm looking forward to that. Nice decor, but obviously, these are professional pictures, so it's not going to look quite the same, but interesting nonetheless. All right, let's go back to the main hotel page here. Now that we looked at the gallery, we can go to the dining tab here. I'm curious to try all these places. I mean, we're going to be there for 5 days and it's all inclusive, so we should be able to go through all of them. Japanese place in Cancun is kind of interesting. It looks like they do like teppanyaki. There's a pizza place. Seems reasonable. Be nice, I think, like for lunch probably. Seems like a family-friendly place. And then a Polynesian restaurant. Interesting. I don't think I've ever had that sort of food before. And nice to know there's a Mexican restaurant in Cancun in Mexico. That's good. I hope it's actually authentic and not some places that you might go to here in like the US, but because it's such a tourist destination. But, then again, it's not in the US, so I do have better expectations. So another perk of the Marriott business credit card is you do get gold status just by holding the card. So like theoretically there is a chance of getting an upgrade to like a suite or something, or just a better room, I guess. But the chances of that are, I'd say, next to none. Though if I'm wrong, please do let me know. But I keep seeing like titanium and ambassador even, people with those statuses not getting an upgrade or something. So I can't imagine that I would get it as a gold status Bonvoy member at a time where it's like the most popular time to go to Cancun. But, I'll keep an open mind. Like, I'm not going to turn down an upgrade, but I will go I'm going to go in with no expectations, and it's not a big deal because, odds are we're going to be enjoying the resort and spending very little time actually in the room. Well, guys, I think that is a wrap on my first big hotel redemption. I'd really love to know what you all think about this, and if you've been to Cancun, let me know what it's like. I've heard good and bad things, so I am curious. I know Marriott's not exactly the biggest player in the all-inclusive resort space, so if you've ever stayed at one of those, I'd love to know as well. Like I alluded to just a moment ago, I do think that I'm going to try to film a room tour and also document some of the dining experiences on the resort. Probably won't, film too much else, just to guess privacy reasons and everything, but I do want to document at least a little bit about it. All right, everyone. As I always say to sign off my videos, I've been Josh. Take care, and I'll see you next time.